We are in beautiful St. Petersburg, Florida. The sun is shining. We're on the bay. It's an incredible setting. It's also the world's fastest spring break party. It is time for the Pirelli World Challenge Championships. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the St. Petersburg Sports Car Challenge presented by StopTech. It is time for us to get underway with our Pirelli World Challenge pre-race show, and we're up in the ante just a little bit this year as we're giving you a great pre-race package to lead into some of the most exciting racing on the planet, the Pirelli World Challenge Championships. I'm Greg Creamer. Jeff Lepper is going to be joining me in the booth all year for the PA and the web coverage. Great to have you all with us, and we're excited about what's about to unfold because it's some big stories are unfolding. First of all, this is a grand touring spectacular weekend. The fields are so big in GT and GTS that those are the only two classes that are going to be running. And Jeff, they are packed, not just in terms of number, but in terms of driver depth and machinery. Oh my.
Oh yeah, we got 15 cars in GT, 25 cars in GTS. I'm telling you, GTS is the place to be in this Pirelli World Championship. With all the different makes and models, this truly is battle of the brands now with over 13 different makes of cars. We're competing here just this weekend, and we only have two classes. It's going to only get better from here.
It's going to be fierce. In the GT category, some of the big stories are the great cadre of drivers, to be sure, but we've got some Euro supercars that are coming to play from Mercedes and from Audi.
Oh yeah, that beautiful brand new Mercedes-Benz SLS GT3 AMG. Two of those, Max Pappas, Peter Lassafray is out here running now as well. I mean, what a great field there with those two cars, and Global Motorsports Group bringing 4 Audi R8s, as well as Jeff Courtney, JCR Racing now starting his own team. He's here with a lone Audi R8. So 5 Audi R8s, we got 2 Mercedes SLSs, along with the Cadillacs and the Corvettes. We can't forget about that. Nissan GTR. I mean, does it get any better than this? No,
it's phenomenal, to be sure. And of course, Johnny O'Connell, reigning champion, coming back with Cadillac. Andy Pilgrim, longtime Cadillac superstar, and Mike Skeen in that vet. The battling here is going to be phenomenal. Let's talk GTS. Huge field, as you pointed out, 25 cars. The story there is really more. I mean, you've got more Camaros, you got more Mustangs, but you've also got more Porsches. Those beautiful Caymans that proved to be so effective last year are back, 3 of them running, and I think we're just going to be in for some spectacular racing in that class, but as well when you fold everything into the 2 classes racing at the same time. And let's not forget, we got a guy, a 2-time champion, once in GT, once in touring car, and a great team are moving to GTS because of the ferocity of the competition.
Yeah, you look at Lawson Aschenbach teaming up with Black Dog Speed Shop now with Tony Gaples. They all effort, brand new, 2 brand new Camaros, first wheels turned here in practice ever. So having you got a chance to test those cars. GT Porsche champion, a guy that drove a Porsche for GT, comes in, drives a Honda, wins a championship in a Honda as well. Now he's like, well, I'm going to go play in GTS. That's the field to be in. Stepping away from the marquee GT class to come into GTS, I think GTS is the marquee now.
Yeah, well, and absolutely. That's with Black Dog Speed Shop, Tony Gaples, you know, the team owner, going to be racing in GTS as well, and beautiful black Camaros. Let's not forget, we got a Scion FRS with a blower on it in GTS. There's so much developments that are happening. This is going to be a fiercely fought championship. It starts on a street course. You've got to survive, and you've got to get points and come out of it. But the stories, of course, are our champions from last year. What are they up against? And also, we got some guys that didn't have the seasons they wanted last year.
Yeah, and actually earlier I had a chance to talk with all of our season champions last year, and also talk with some guys that had some really high season potential hope, didn't quite pan out the way it was, and also about the importance of what it takes to get started here at St. Pete to get your season off for a championship run.
Here with driver the number 3 Cadillac Racing Cadillac CTSV, Johnny O'Connell. Johnny, banner year last year to get that Pirelli World Challenge Championship. Tell us what it took to achieve that and what's going to take to do it this year.
Well, you know what? It was a whole lot of hard work by a lot of talented and dedicated people. You know, and we did it without the fastest car. We did it by being smart, by staying out of trouble, and we've just mechanically had very sound cars. You know, no mistakes get made, and hopefully, you know, this being our 3rd year, you know, we'll be able to repeat.
So what did it take for you to win the championship last year and clinch that 7 championship?
Well, for sure, consistency. To win the championship last year, you needed to have 12 days that were pretty good, some of which didn't have to be as good as others, but it just worked out that way for Acura and for real time.
So Randy, 2012, man, that was a tough year for you.
2012, let me see here. Dream come true, nightmare. It was like I was either first or last or on fire.
Ricky Bobby at Pirelli World Challenge.
He just thought he was on fire. I really was. So we had ups and downs, and the bright spot is our cars are in much better shape now than they've ever been for 2013. So the best part is to be part of the Pirelli World Challenge Championship with the K-Pax Volvo Racing team.
How important is it to get a great start here for this doubleheader weekend starting the year off?
You know, every race is important, but certainly we do want to get off on the right foot here at St. Pete. And our team has done well here over the years, so we're hoping that past performance is somewhat of an indication of future performance.
Obviously, it's good to finish races. You know, there's not that many races. I believe it's like 14 or so total. And when you put that in the grand scheme of things, you know, one race, one DNF can take you out of the championship pretty easily.
Everybody right now is feeling everybody else out. There have been rule changes over the winter, so nobody really has a good feeling where everybody stands. So this will be a learning experience, because you do an event, you find out what your strengths are, your weaknesses are, and one thing that we're always good is addressing our weaknesses and correcting them.
Jeff, it's always fascinating to hear the insights of the returning champions and what it took to get that championship. But for those guys that had the tough years last year, it's only getting tougher this year.
Yeah, especially with you know, Lawson switching classes, to see that happen there. And man, you just got to feel for Randy. Like I said, one of the greatest personalities in probably motorsports, and happy to have him here in Pirelli World Challenge, and to hear his trials and tribulations that he went through last year. And hopefully he'll have a lot better weekend here this weekend. Absolutely.
And of course, sometimes there's the old sophomore jinx. But that doesn't often happen when a driver who maybe has just come off of his first season in the Pirelli World Challenge is one of the legendary drivers in sports car racing and a former Trans Am champion. We had that happen last year with Jack Baldwin. He stepped into the championship, promptly went right to the front, stayed there all season long in that beautiful Porsche Cayman. When we come back from break, Jack will be joining us right here on the set to talk about heading into year 2, the up of the ante of competition and running those beautiful Porsches. Stay with us. Today's coverage of the Pirelli World Challenge is being brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source, by GoPro, be a hero, and by Pirelli, power is nothing without control.
The streets of Monaco, home of the legendary Grand Prix circuit. The perfect place to bring the all-new Cadillac ATS to test the 2.0-liter turbo engine.
272 horsepower, the lightest in its class. The Cadillac ATS outmatches BMW. I cannot believe I've ended the day not scraping some red paint off on these barrier rims.
The all-new Cadillac ATS.
The Pirelli World Challenge, the most intense and unique sports car racing on the planet. Multiple classes running at the same time, but in a sprint format. Some of the world's top manufacturers and the world's best drivers, all beginning with standing starts. It is truly sports car wars. For series and event ticket information, check out world-challenge.com. To watch replays of all the intense action, check out world-challengetv.com. And always check it out, Pirelli World Challenge on Facebook.
Welcome back to the world's fastest spring break party and our Pirelli World Challenge pre-race show. As we promised, joined by the legendary Jack Baldwin. Jack, it's such a pleasure to have you. You and I go back to the Trans Am days when you were running the Hot Wheels Camaro and winning championships. And it was so great to have you come into World Challenge for the first time last year. And you were a player right away. You're back with the same package, essentially. And that little Porsche is already proven once again, as you'd expect, to be a great little street fighter.
Well, you know, we had the idea to bring the Cayman 2 World Challenge. The GTS class seemed to be just a great place for it to compete in. And it proved to be a good little street fighter, you know. So GT Sport Racing, along with this year, I'm excited to be in the second. This is my second season, right. So we're excited to be with Motul and StopTech, along with Goldcrest Motorsports, to done a lot of work to get our cars ready, and I'm really excited about it. I mean, for me, it's a thrill. I mean, doing this all these years, and to be able to come back and race at this level, a full season for a championship with my own team, GT Sport, is just a thrill you can't believe. And I'm having more fun, I think, now than I've had ever.
Well, yeah, I mean, and it's showing. I mean, you're just, you know, laughing, smiling, just enjoying things. That's clear. The one thing is, this is not the car you raced last year. You actually have a brand new car. And you and I were talking yesterday when we were wandering through the paddock, and you were talking about how the Porsche that you guys are running, is so true to the concept, the spirit of the idea for GTS. Tell us about that.
Well, I think that the Cayman is it's the car that's built closest to the spirit of the rules in GTS, which is a street car, you know, turned into a race car. And so both of our cars were bought off the showroom floor, literally bought, you know. Last year's car, my old friend and teammate and owner of a great race team, American Equipment Racing, back in the day, Buzz McCall, bought that car, and that is now the 72 car. We built a new Cayman. We went to the showroom floor, bought it, put a roll cage in it, and we built it, and that's the 73 car. So, yeah, I mean, it is a Cayman. It's a full Cayman. It's got a Cayman engine, transmission. It's built to the spirit of the rules, and we're loving it. The thing about the Cayman, I mean, it's fun to drive, you know, and you know, hey, what we like is turns. I want a lot of turns. I don't really like long straightaways, you know. The Kias, they like long straightaways. The Mustangs and the Camaros, I like a lot of quick turns, and obviously, you know, this circuit here, I think suits my car better than it might suit some of the other cars. But that's kind of how it works in racing. Some cars are better at other tracks, and you know, whatever.
So with all your championships and racing pedigree and where you've been, what's the draw to keep coming back and wanting to be here?
Well, first of all, you know, my entire life I've raced cars, and I love racing. I've always been in racing. Everybody I know is in racing, so this is my life. This is my passion. This is what I do. So, I mean, you know, looking at World Challenge, this was perfect for me. You know, the races are sprint races. I like those the best. I love the World Challenge, the whole format. I like the venues you guys run in. It makes a lot of sense. You know, you can take a street car and turn it into a race car, and I can bring it out here and I can be competitive. I can win. And, you know, that's what we're going to try to do today, is to win, you know. But, and you have to work. I mean, hey, look, there's fierce competition. We were racing against factory supported teams and teams with a lot of technical support behind them. Our team is pretty strong. I mean, when GT Sport made an alliance with Goldcrest Motorsports, one of the top Porsche shops in the United States. That was a strong alliance, and I've got a great crew of guys that work really, really hard. They're dedicated on these cars. I've got a fantastic engineer that I communicate really, really well with, Steve Ruiz, and he's also head of engineering at Stop Tech. So I have really good brakes on the car. No kidding.
And it shows. I mean, because you guys were quick right out of the box. And that communication allows you to get a setup on the car that's effective right away. And I've got to say, folks, in a way, we've come full circle, because the first Trans Am race I ever called in the late 80s was right here at St. Pete. And now we're back together again, the World Challenge at St. Pete. Thank you so much for driving. I'll tell you, folks, this guy in a Trans Am race executed the fastest stop-and-go penalty stop I've ever seen, and then came back through the field to win it against the best in the business in Trans Am. Best in the business about to take to this track, but they have to survive the concrete canyons of St. Pete, and that means getting through the key corners. It is time for Johnny O'Connell with our Cadillac Key Corners. Enjoy this onboard lap.
St. Petersburg, Florida. It's where the World Challenge starts its series, the season, and these are going to be the Cadillac CTSV Key Corners. We're on the straightaway now. We're up in the 6th gear, hard on the brakes, and down in the 2nd gear for turn 1. Difficult, a lot of paint that you run over there. Up in the 3rd gear for turn 2. We really start hauling in the 4th gear for turn 3. Very fast corner, everything's right. It's flat out. Up in the 5th gear as we go into turn 4, then boom, 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 down in the 2nd gear for turn 4. This is a really fun part of the racetrack. Point and squirt. Accelerate hard here through 6. Up in the 3rd gear, break down in the 2nd for turn 8. And bring it nice and tight to the wall and let it run out close to the wall. Turn 9, important corner because we're coming up to a long straightaway here. 3rd gear, 4th gear. Again, these Cadillac CTSV Key Corners, the kink right there, it is one of them. Everything is right. It's done flat in 5th gear, but now we come into turn 10. We change down into 2nd gear. Great overtaking area, but again, coming up to another very fast part of the racetrack. 11 and 12 done in 4th gear. You're flying in there, touch of the brakes for 12. Okay, then hard on the brakes for the last corner on the racetrack. Very tight, but important, because you need to get a good exit out of here to go up the gearbox, accelerate all the way up into 6th gear as you once again pass start finish St. Petersburg. We love starting our season here.
So that was a look at one of the prettiest and most raceable street circuits you'll ever find, but from the driver's view. Pretty spectacular place. Now it's time for us to put it on the line. Our reputations, our credibility, all up in the air right now. Time for us to make our picks. Let's start with GTS. Who you liking?
Well, see, I don't have a big reputation, doesn't matter, but in GTS I have to go with Andy Lee, the Crown 7 Best IT, Bob Bondurant Chevy Camaro. He won 4 races last year, pole position here. He's got to be the one to win. One to watch, though, I got to go with Lawson Aschenbach. That car gets faster and faster every single session. 4th qualification today. Watch him.
It's a very good point. They started off, the first time they ran it was in that first practice, and they made huge leaps. Team coming around. I've got to go with one of the Porsches, so it's either got to be Baldwin or Kevin Gleason, and I think it'll be Jack Baldwin just on sheer experience and having raced the St. Pete street course for a lot of years in different equipment. It's my guess. Let's move to GT. Who you like there?
I love Johnny O'Connell. I mean, I know the Bobbles are on the front row. They're going to get a great start. The Porsche right behind him with Ryan Dial. But I think the Porsches are going to lack momentum when we start getting up to the GTS field and they start lapping the field. I think that's going to have the Cadillacs and, of course, Mike Skeen and the V8 Vet. I think that's going to let them catch up and really make a good show of it.
That's the real trick here, is negotiating traffic, not losing momentum. You would think the True Speed boys, Ryan Dial, an exquisite driver, that team great prep, they have to be the favorites. But the Volvos, obviously, if they launch well and they can stay up front, it's game on. You know, who to pick maybe coming up a little bit. I think Skeen has proven to be very good late race. We'll see what unfolds there. It's going to be fun either way. It's going to be an awesome start to the Pirelli World Championship season. In GT and in GTS, round 1, about to come your way. It is going to be a barn burner. The battle of the brands is about to be played out. It's the Pirelli World Challenge.
The streets of Monaco, home of the legendary Grand Prix circuit. The perfect place to bring the all-new Cadillac ATS to test the 2.0-liter turbo engine.
272 horsepower, the lightest in its class. The Cadillac ATS outmatches BMW. I cannot believe I've ended the day not scraping some red paint off on these barriers.
The all-new Cadillac ATS.
The Pirelli World Challenge, the most intense and unique sports car racing on the planet. Multiple classes running at the same time, but in a sprint format. Some of the world's top manufacturers and the world's best drivers, all beginning with standing starts. It is truly sports car wars. For series and event ticket information, check out world-challenge.com. To watch replays of all the intense action, check out world-challengetv.com. And always check it out, Pirelli World Challenge on Facebook. Revs coming up, we're green!
Big move coming off the 3.
2, 3, 4 abreast in some spots.
Side-by-side action.
He absolutely nailed it.
Three-way battle.
And we've got an incident. You would expect nothing less.
Oh, clips the inside apex.
Very racy. This is going to get interesting.
That is a brave move. What a pass. This is what World Challenge is all about.
Straight of the St. Petersburg Grand Prix, as we are now on the World Wide Web. This is very special indeed. Great to have everybody here on the web. We're appreciating it very much. And ladies and gentlemen, right now we have a very special moment for you. A couple of local area high school students, Shannon Fitzpatrick and Emma Robinson, are going to sing our national anthem. Ladies.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, how beautiful was that? Ladies, absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. That was absolutely inspiring and beautiful to boot. Going to continue on now with our run through the grid, moving up to our 21st spot overall, 6th in GTS. The number 38 Kia Motors America from Kinetic Motorsports, Kia Optima Turbo. The number 38 of Mark Wilkins. Starting 20th overall, 5th in GTS. He is your defending champion in GTS. He is a 7-time champion in Pirelli World Challenge. He is a legend in Pirelli World Challenge in the Acura HPD Real-Time Racing Acura TSX. Number 42, the one, the only, Peter Cunningham. Starting in the 19th spot, overall, 4th in GTS. This is a huge story. Teammate to Tony Gaples in that Black Dog Speed Shop Chevy Camaro that has made its way into GTS now. And he is a 2-time champion as well. And every session, he's moved up a number of spots, qualifying 4th in class. A 2-time champion, a superb talent, number 10, Lawson Ossenbach. Starting 3rd in GTS, 18th overall, he drives the Napleton Porsche Cayman. He made 1 start last year at Mid-Ohio, ended up with a win in one of the 2 races there. And it's a great story. Back for the full season. It is the number 16 of Kevin Gleason. 2nd in GTS, 17th overall, one of the legends. He's raced on the streets of St. Pete on and off since the late 80s in Trans Am. Welcome back, a sports car racing legend, driving the number 73 Motul StopTech Invoice Prep Porsche Cayman S, Jack Baldwin. And your pole sitter, and by the way, the top 5 in GTS were all underneath the track record. Your pole sitter, the man who finished 2nd to Peter Cunningham by just a few points in the championship chase. He had 4 wins last year, 11 times in the top 10, 3 poles, and a close 2nd in the championship. He drives the number 20 Best IT Chevrolet Camaro with a new track record of 1 minute 20.778 seconds out of Colorado Springs. Welcome the number 20 of Andy Lee. We move now to the GT division. Starting in the 15th spot in GT, and keep in mind we will have Brandon Davis doing that start and park from pit lane. But starting in the 15th spot, he drives the number 4 Chevrolet Corvette sponsored by the movie Internship. It's Tommy Dreese. Starting 14th, the number 33 Fusion Worldwide, beautiful Mercedes-Benz SLS GT3 of Peter Lesafra. Starting 13th, in the number 99 Kenda Rex stuff, beautiful Audi R8 LMS from Jeff Courtney Racing. It is Jeff Courtney. Starting in the 12th spot in the Hawk Performance Nissan GTR, it is the number 12 of Tim Bell. Starting in the 11th spot in the Spider Lasso Global Motorsports Group Audi R8 LMS, it's the number 08 of Alex Welch. Starting in the 10th spot in the United Steel Supply and Spectra Resources Audi R8, it is number 32 Brett Curtis. Starting in the 9th spot, it is the Stand Organization's Merchant Services Global Motorsports Audi R8 LMS of 24 Duncan Endy. Starting 8th, it is the beautiful Black Swan Mercedes-Benz AMG SLS GT3 of number 54 Tim Pappas. Starting in the 7th spot, the Hawk Performance Corvette of one of the fastest drivers in the championship, the number 2 of Mike Skeen. Outside of the 3rd row in the 6th spot, the 05 champ, number 8, Andy Pilgrim, inducted into the Chevy Corvette Hall of Fame, one of Cadillac Racing's most associated racers in that beautiful CTS VR, Andy Pilgrim, number 8. Starting 5th, it is number 3, the defending champion in GT. Coming back, it is Johnny O'Connell in the Cadillac Racing CTS VR. Outside of the 2nd row, starting 4th, number 14 in his Global Motorsports Group, Mobile One Audi, James Safronis. Starting in the 3rd spot, in the number 46, Privacy Star Interest Porsche, a sports car racing phenom, Ryan Dial. Your front row, all K-Pax Racing Volvos. Randy Pope sitting on the outside in the number 6, and on pole with a new track record, Alex Figge in the number 9 machine. That is your starting lineup. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure now to introduce to you Rafael Navarro, Vice President of Communication, Media Relations, and Motorsports for our start command. That'll be coming up in just a couple of minutes. And Rafael, let's take a moment here before we have that command fired. A few years ago, Pirelli came on board as the title sponsorship of this program, as well as the official tire supplier, and it has blossomed into an amazing partnership. You guys have been phenomenal. The performance those P0 tires give these cars, the drivers appreciate. It's been awesome.
You guys have been great, and I got to tell you, it's great to see you back, my friend, and true partnerships keep on growing and getting better, and we've got some big plans looking ahead into the future with Pirelli World Challenge.
Well, I think it is going to be spectacular. We're looking forward to it. We have a beautiful field of GT and GTS machinery about to set sail on those sticky, durable P0 slicks that are going to put on a show. You've got to take great pride in looking down this field and knowing that now, in but 15 seconds, you are going to set them on your way. So once again, Rafael, I'll step out of the picture. You watch the counts and send them on their way when you're ready, my friend. And again, a huge thanks to Pirelli.
On behalf of our friends at Optima Batteries and Stop Tech Brakes, Pirelli Tire North America, drivers, start your engines.
All right, Jeff Lepper, I'm on my way to the booth. We'll see you in a few. It's all yours, my friend.
Thank you so much, Greg. Once again, my name is Jeff Lepper. Welcome here to the St. Petersburg Sports Car Challenge presented by Stop Tech Brakes. My name is Jeff Lepper as we join here you live at world-challengetv.com. Thank you so much to all our fans here at the St. Petersburg Grand Prix as we get set to start round number 1 of the Pirelli World Challenge. A lot of great stories. We saw some of the grids there. For those of you that are just now joining, we want to thank Greg Creamer for giving us the grid there. If you did not get a chance to hear our GTS grid, of course, Andy Lee in the best IT, Bob Bondurant, Crown 7. Chevy Camaro taking the pole position in the GTS category. No less than 40 cars taking the green flag here. We have 15 GT cars, 25 GTS cars coming around. Due to this being the first race of the year, a lot of new people, new teams coming into the series. We're going to go ahead and do a standing start. So, a rolling start. So there will be a rolling start for those of you that are tuned in and wanted to see those K-Pax Racing Volvo S60Rs with their great four-wheel drive launch of those Pirelli P0 tires hooking up. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait till tomorrow for that as we will have a standing start tomorrow. Today, however, it is going to be a rolling start, side by side, all 40 cars going down into turn 1 here at this beautiful facility here in St. Petersburg, Florida, the world's fastest spring break party. Greg Creamer will be joining me here in the booth in just a few minutes doing our pre-race festivities. Once again, we want to thank everybody for listening. Thank you so much to Pirelli, our title and series sponsor, continuing on here for the Pirelli World Challenge. Got to give a huge thank you out to Cadillac as well. Stepping up now is our official pace car as well as our brand new safety vehicle, our Cadillac Escalade. Hopefully, we don't ever have to use it, but it is good to have it. We appreciate all the fine folks there at Cadillac for that. A couple of no-shows here on the grid so far. Mark Clinton unfortunately had some engine problems in his GTS category. Schwant BMW Premier Copier unable to make the field. Robert Stout, a lot of expectations out of that Scion FRS from Scion TRD Lucas Oil. Unfortunately has some problems on the grid there, not able to make the green flag. Buzz McCall had an incident in the second practice session in qualifying, so unable to get that car repaired and back under. So unfortunately, Buzz McCall not making the call for the race today. Hopefully he can get that car ready and be back here on Sunday morning. Cars are on their initial pace lap, getting gridded up here as they come by to go green. You do see once again our Cadillac Escalade, the official safety vehicle of the Pirelli World Challenge now, as well as our pace cars. The cars are side by side now coming down the straightaway. It is going to be Alex Figge leading Randy Popst as they come down. You will see the cars going, and green flag, they're underway. Look at the start from the back there. Look at that car from the Mercedes there, and Alex Figge on the inside. We got Ryan DL on third. Coming down in turn number 1, Randy Popst looking, going to block the Porsche out there. A little contact between Randy Popst and Ryan DL as they come down to turn number 2, and there's James Stefanis now on the inside of Johnny O'Connell. What a great start for O'Connell in the Cadillac. Trying to look back for our GTS category car there. It still is Figge, Popst, Ryan DL, and Johnny O'Connell. First, second, third, and fourth. Sofronis and Mike Skeen now side by side there as they gun through turn number 4. Really tight street course here at St. Petersburg as everybody now single file looking back here through our GTS field there. Tommy Dreese unfortunately had some tech problems there, had to start last. It does look like Andy Lee in the Camaro, though, however, is into first place in the GTS category. It is Volvo K-Pax Racing S60Rs first and second. Third place, Ryan DL in that Privacy Star Bridgehampton Interest Porsche 911 GT3 into third. Followed by Johnny O'Connell in that Cadillac Racing Cadillac CTS-V in fourth. And then we have Mike Skeen now in fifth place in his Hawk Performance Chevy Corvette. Looks like James Stefanis now has got around Mike Skeen in his Global Motorsports Group Audi. Looking on the inside there of Johnny O'Connell, not going to be able to make that pass, not close enough.
as lap number 1 is complete. It is Alex Figge in the K-Pax Racing Volvo S60R, your leader. And thank you so much for Greg. You worked it way over here in the booth, and we're getting this race started.
We are, and what a great feeling to have this championship underway. This is such a special series. And to see these cars out here, this beautiful symphony of all these different sounding instruments, different looking manufacturers, brand diversity, brand parity, the competition is just intense. And as you said, doing what they wanted to do, those Volvos getting that launch and able to stay in front. Big sideways moment and a huge save. And that's number 28, Lou Gelati. You know, he has always been, as I've called it, fast loose. He drives it on that edge and lets it slip a little bit. That, however, cost him a lot of time, and one of the Optimas having a huge move up the inside.
Yeah, Nick Janssen unfortunately had some problems there at the start. Had to start from the back of the GTS grid. He will be moving through that field in that number 36 Kia Optima. It's great to see that. I think the Sunoco Hard Charger is definitely going to be Nick Janssen on that one.
I don't think there's any question of that. And the interesting thing is that, obviously, that front-wheel drive car will allow him to move offline a little bit if he has to, and be able to still be somewhat effective. Interesting here, you never see a Camaro look that big until it's up in that sandwich with the Lotus in the middle, and it gives you an idea. Look at this, here comes Janssen again, taking a look, not quite ready to duck underneath that Nissan, and so he drops back, settles in. Nick is a very, very savvy racer, and you know, he's won the World Endurance, you know, races in the World Endurance Championship. He's podiumed at Le Mans. He's done so much, and to see him decide, I want to race GTS in the Pirelli World Challenge, I think that says a lot.
Yeah, going back to our leaders here in the GTS category now, that is Andy Lee in that Best IT Crown 7 Chevy Camaro, followed by Jack Baldwin in his Motul Invoice Prep Porsche Cayman. And we have Lawson Aschenbach, look at that, up to 3rd place now. We talked about it all weekend, getting better and better every session with him into 3rd in his Black Dog Speed Shop Chevy Camaro.
I went and talked to him after the autograph session. I said, I just want to, I'll let you know that Jeff and I in the pre-race show put you in a very unusual position for you. So what's that? I said, you know, dark horse. And he went, oh, so now I've got to perform. And I, well, of course you do. So he was relishing the opportunity to show it. He said, how about this team? You know, every session, as you said, that car better, better, better. And nice to see him right in the hunt. And there's his teammate, I believe. That is Mr. Gaples. Great to see him. He's one of our longtime competitors. As I said, making his 105th start. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, Ernie Francis Jr. there in that number 15 Chevy Camaro, holding off Nick Janssen as he tries to come through the field here. But look at the leaders down here to turn number 1. Alex Figge, Randy Pope's right there. And Ryan Dial not falling back. He's still hot on his heels.
No, and Safronis actually took a look at O'Connell, moved over just a little bit and went, no, not quite ready here. And decided to ease out of it. And this is what you'd expect, to see these two Volvos push as hard as they can, try and build the gap a little bit. And you know, obviously, they have a lot of grip, but that all-wheel drive platform does take a toll on the tires as well. And Dial, if he can stay close, it's going to be interesting. But the horsepower of O'Connell and that Audi with that V10 when they get in traffic, this is going to be a great chess match, and that's what makes this type of racing so special.
Yeah, it's going to be great to watch Johnny O'Connell and James Safronis there nose to tail as they try to see if they can keep in touch with the Volvos and that Porsche of Ryan Dial and see if the later parts of this race, if they're going to save enough of that Pirelli P0 tires and take a run for the lead on them.
That's right. You can race these P0s extremely hard for the 50 minutes, but like any tire, it doesn't matter how good it is, you can't abuse it. You have to be mindful of it to have something left, and that is what these guys are doing right now. It's a big tactical battle, isn't it? I mean, they're sitting at this going, what have I got right now? I don't want to burn up brakes. You know, street course racing, generally hard on brakes. I don't want to chew up tires, don't want to break gearboxes and everything. Want to be ready to be able to really fight at the end. Right now, it's all, what have I got? What do I need?
Yeah, it's all green flag now, trying to get in your rhythm and get everything set as we focus there. Nick Janssen in the Kia Optima, followed by Jim Taggart now in his Lotus Exige S, and then young 15-year-old Ernie Francis Jr. in his hydraulic jeans Chevy Camaro there. Is looks like James Safronis now putting it to Johnny O'Connell, Greg.
Yeah, he has got that beautiful Global Motorsports Group Mobile 1 Audi tucked right up behind that beautiful Cadillac CTS VR's rear wing. And he's just showing a lot of nose right there. One thing you're not going to do with Johnny O'Connell, you know, you think about how many times he's won Le Mans in the old GT1 category, how many times he's, you know, won championships in the American Le Mans Series. You're not going to rattle him. You know, you just got to stay with him and just wait and hope that your car ends up a little bit quicker.
Yeah, I don't think James knows that theory, though, with Johnny O'Connell, because he is looking all over the back of that Cadillac trying to see where he can make a move, maybe.
You know, it can't hurt to just shuffle around.
Put that in the mental notebook. This is where the Cadillac's going to be.
Absolutely. GTS back in 16th overall. It's still Lee leading over Baldwin and Aschenbach up into 3rd. So a spot there. Cunningham sits 4th. And interesting to see what's unfolding right now. Gleason has moved back. Then Wilkins, Udell, Asayan, and Curtin in the team car to Lee, that best IT Camaro. And look at this. Absolutely. Safronis, he's feeling racy.
Yeah, he is right there on the heels of Johnny O'Connell. I bet you one little slip up out of that back of that Cadillac, that Audi will pounce past Johnny O'Connell.
And how cool is it? I mean, only in the Pirelli World Challenge, you've got a Cadillac CTSV, an Audi R8 LMS, and they are just duking it out. And clearly, Safronis, little mistake there, got in just a little hot. And you get off of the entry in that section, it throws your rhythm off all the way through it, doesn't it? You can see he's just lost good 3-4 car lengths.
Yeah, and Mike Skeen in that Hawk Performance Chevy Corvette right there behind him saying, hey, you go ahead and try to see if you make a move on Johnny O'Connell. I'll guarantee you I'll get around you.
Absolutely. This is just some wonderful racing that we're seeing right now. We're 5 laps in, but remember, this comes down to a 50-minute timed event. That's the number we're really paying attention to. And there's a look at Jack Baldwin, that beautiful Moat Tool Stop Tech invoice prep Cayman S. Great to see that man racing the streets of St. Pete.
It sure is. Of course, being led, unfortunately, by Andy Lee in that Best IT Chevy Camaro. I know Andy, our pole sitter now, Jack Baldwin right there. I know Jack is really looking for more points than he had here last time, but first, second, and third, sandwiched by a couple Camaros there, followed by that Black Dog Speed Shop Chevy Camaro of Lawson Aschenbach in third.
Well, and I think what Andy's trying to do here is he's trying to get a gap so that when the GT cars, if they catch him and start coming through, that they don't slow Andy up and that they might hold Jack up as they leapfrog through those guys and make the move. Ooh, a couple of guys running a little wide there, and here it begins. The back of the field, your leader, Alex Figge, starting to wind his way through traffic. Ooh, yeah. You see Dial taking a look at Popes.
Yeah, Dial looking at Popes on the outside there coming through as he got held up by Brad Adams. Has to tuck back on him, but trying to inch their way through traffic here. And boy, Dial is ready to make a move here as they're going to split Brad Adams now. 3 wide there.
Oh, and Randy, did you see him thread the needle?
Wow. That's why he's Randy Popes, folks. There's nothing there. And Andy Pilgrim right there as well.
That's O'Connell, and Safronis going to try and go around the outside and pick up that spot. No, couldn't quite get it done. But you've got to be opportunistic in traffic in these 50-minute sprint races.
This is touchy and feely there as we see Alex Figge now. Ryan Dial behind Randy Popes, Johnny O'Connell, and James Safronis there, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And look at what Alex Figge has been able to do with all that lap traffic back there. He caught the lap traffic at the perfect time, pulls about a 2-second lead over second place.
Gelati picking up a spot in GTS, and then behind Dial actually was trying to get a run and got hung up behind one of those lap cars, had to swerve hard right, and wasn't able then to take any kind of a shot at Popes. And, of course, Dial looking in his mirrors and seeing nothing but silver caddy, who's looking in his mirrors and seeing nothing but white and blue Audi. This is some spectacular stuff. And, again, Safronis, let me see, and Skeen has joined that queue.
Yeah, never, ever in my life will I ever say Johnny O'Connell's holding somebody up, but James Safronis is wheeling that Audi R8, trying to make a move around Johnny O'Connell, and I think it's starting to really affect him because now Skeen's starting to come up there and make this basically a 4-car battle for second place.
So you're saying James might be up on the wheel?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It is an Audi. It's a small little wheel.
That's
Have you seen that
He's
wheel?
Up,
it's really cool, though, with paddle shifters.
Oh, and look at that. Popes having to go monster defensive on Dial as they get in traffic, and Popes went all the way to the wall and shut the door, essentially, on Dial. Dial now, he wants by, and he wants by in a hurry. And this is all momentum. Randy got held up in that traffic, and it took him a little bit. He just couldn't get on the throttle as soon as he wanted. Now, this is going to be interesting because there's a little bit of room in front of him. Dial doesn't have any GT traffic to contend with as they pull out. Popes makes the move, and Dial, is he going to be able to make the move to the inside? I don't think he's close enough.
No, I don't think so either, but look at Safronis on the outside of Johnny O'Connell. Johnny's going to have the inside there. Contact made with Lou Gelati there. Safronis back to the inside. Rick Boucher saying, I'm getting out of here in his Nissan.
Well, so yeah, exactly. Gelati coming down underneath Boucher, and he was looking at Boucher, and he had no clue that O'Connell was coming down underneath him.
Yeah,
it's rubbing.
It's so hard. You're trying to do your own race as a GTS car, and now you're looking out for the GT cars. You definitely don't want to get in their way, and it's a hard situation to be in, both as a GT driver and a GTS driver.
Now, the concern for O'Connell is, did that little bit of contact do any damage to anything on that car that could upset the handling and the pace, because he can't give anything up right now because of the relentless pursuit of James Safronis right behind him. So we'll see what unfolds. Again, Popes under attack from Dial. going through that fast left-hand sweeper. Dial takes a look to the inside. Boy, if you're going to make a pass there, you got to get by well before you get to turn in there. And he made a wise move there and said, nah, thanks, not going to do it, into turn 10.
Yeah, of course, that's the Mustang back there of Richard Gallinell, the Grand Sanitation Mustang, came into the field. No practice, no qualifying, started last. He's working his way through there.
He's run some laps here. That's the the one thing, though. That's why the steward said, oh, yeah, we'll let him go. It's just good he was able to make it. Right now, it looks like when it's clear track, Skeen doesn't quite have the pace of those guys in front of him at this point. He's very advantageous in traffic, of course. Oh, and look, it's Safronis went outside. O'Connell defended. Safronis went back to the inside. Nothing there. Yeah, James is seriously wanting through right now.
Yeah, coming up on the lap traffic there of Tony Gaples and his Black Dog Speed Shop Chevy Camaro. I think Tony's going to do the wise thing, get out of the way there. But look at that. They're both side by side trying to get through the side. 3 wide as they come down the corner. Watch out for that.
Ooh, close. A BMW involved in there as well. And everybody gets through, but a few people got a little wake-up call. I think that was Drew Rigetz and that Association Voice Premier Copier BMW.
Yeah, and that really, look at that. That really held up James Safronis there. Yeah. Now Mike Skeen right on his back as we see.
But look at how traffic has benefited Alex Figge at this stage.
Yeah, he's caught up to Harry Curtin there now. Look at still nose to tail here with Randy Popes and Ryan Diel. That's a battle for second here as Ryan Diel looks to the outside, back to the inside. Randy Popes gets a better run out of there as they get up to the kink here.
Yeah, Dial trying to just get Randy to defend a little bit, tighten his radius. Oh, look at Dial swing the back around, got it rotated. If he could pick up the throttle early, just about got into the wall. He was trying to get every ounce of launch out of that turn.
Hey, you pay to use the whole track, you might as well.
Yep, the entry fee covers every inch of race surface. He got it. Now, this is the dicey part. When the guy you're chasing gets into traffic, does the guy he's passing realize you might be coming through with him? And so far, I mean, these GTS guys have an awful big job racing the guy they're racing, looking forward, and being aware of who might be coming up behind them.
Yeah, back to our GTS battle here. Andy Lee in the Crown 7 Best IT. Chevy Camaro leading Jack Baldwin in his Motul Stop Deck. Lawson Aschenbach in third right there, 1, 2, 3 in GTS.
Now, you know what I'm wondering here at this obviously Baldwin was very quick off the trailer. Andy Lee did get pole, but Baldwin knows that race car he's got, that Cayman, is going to be good at the end of the race. And is he trying to hound right now and maybe get Andy to run off the tires a little bit with that more powerful but heavier Camaro, tires, brakes, and the like, and then have something to fight with right at the end? It's going to be a great battle, as we see here still for second. And, I think Safronis was trying the outside again into 10. Unbelievable if he pulled that one off.
Yeah, we're still watching this battle for second, but boy, back there for third. That is a battle going on now with, for fourth for O'Connell, Safronis, and Skeen. I bet you those cars are right here as soon as we get a back shot there, nose to tail.
Yep.
Let's see if we can see that in the back. It looks like it still is O'Connell. They'll hold off in fourth place.
And Figge right now, this traffic has given him that big gap, exactly what he wants. Safronis has the run. He got the run, and I think O'Connell maybe got hung up just a little bit in traffic. James Safronis down the inside. O'Connell says, yep, no point me trying to go around the outside. That's going to just lead me to the wall. He's a savvy driver, tucks in behind, and he loses the spot. But worry about points, worry about championship, and worry about a race tomorrow morning.
There you go. James Safronis now up to fourth place in his Global Motorsports Group. Working a lot of stuff with charities with the Children's Tumor Foundation, as well as stepping in for Don Ishtuk. We wish him all the best. Don, I know you're listening right now. Speedy recovery, buddy. We can't wait to see you at COTA. But the ARC Audi Racing Program, we had all the guys here, all the people here from ARC earlier, and James Safronis, the Global Motorsports team, stepping in, having those people come into the pits. We really appreciate it.
Well, these guys are coming up. That is, I think that's Nick Safronis, or Nick is saying that these guys are coming up through. So these GT cars, as you would expect, I mean, obviously they are built to a whole different level of prep than the GTS machines by design, and that's what makes this so fascinating. And right now, Randy getting hung up a little bit behind his saying, and look at Dial diamond that corner again, trying to get launch speed. Going to get a little toe off of the sand, tucked right in behind Randy. And if he's close enough, we know about Porsche brakes. They're legendary. Will he see if he can use them? Looks to the inside. Just enough squirt look like by that Volvo to dissuade him.
Yeah, not quite there with Nick Asayan running in 8th right now in GTS, followed right there behind 17-year-old Alec Udell in that Motorsports Development Group Ford Mustang in 9th.
This is such fun to watch right now. There's Safronis. Once he got around O'Connell, he's been able to gap him. So obviously James' car was pretty good. And coming back into things here just a little bit. Is that Curtin
That's Harry Curtin, and of course Nick Johnson trying to still move up through the field in that Kia Optima from Kinetic Motorsports there, and a good battle between Harry Curtin and Nick Johnson now.
Harry just shutting the door going, no, this is for position, pal. Not just letting you slide up through there.
And it's battle between 9th and 10th now. Harry Curtin and his best IT Chevy Camaro. Sort of the team owner there of that with Andy Lee's car. And Nick Johnson trying to get that 9th now. Dane Moxlow up there for that battle now. So the battle for 9th, a three-way here between Harry Curtin, Nick Johnson, and Dane Moxlow.
And nope, not there. And here comes Safronis. Nope, that's not Safronis. That's another of those.
That's
there's a
Alex
huge
Welch
stable.
of the Global Motors. No less than 4 Audi AMG R8s here from, Audi R8s from Global Motorsports Group, GMG, of course. So 4 of those, and they also have the Pontiac Solstice of Bill Ziegler. So no less than 5 cars working here this weekend for that team. And you mentioned it before. Jack Baldwin, that number 73 Motul Stop Tech Porsche, came in right on the heels of Andy Lee saying, yeah, you got to keep in front of me, wear those tires off, I'll be here at the end.
Well, and watch what we're seeing right now. You watch Andy Lee, he's staying in front, but he's using a lot more car. He's sliding it. You can see he's sideways. Black rubber marks down on the pavement. Jack Baldwin like he's on rails right now. And and the other thing is when they come up on slower traffic, Andy's forcing his hand, and Jack's able to just follow him through. As we watch Popes and Dial continuing this. Oh! That was a great gift by Popes. He timed that beautifully and got that Kia right in between the two of them. And finally, Randy's got a little breathing room.
Yeah, the Kia there of Mark Wilkins there put the gap on him now. And there's Safronis now. But look at how much gap Safronis has closed in now on Ryan DL with the battling they've been doing. Some clear track now. And he got around O'Connell, and he definitely was being held up by O'Connell a little bit there. And there he is up to 4th place. Starting to make it a battle for 3rd.
Yeah, that Audi is hooked up right now, and that is going to make this very interesting. 2 Volvos, a Porsche, an Audi, and a Cadillac in that top group. Oh, a little bit of lockup. Smart thing for Moxlow to do. That's Dane Moxlow on that Trenton foraging machine. Locked it up, realized there's no way I'm making that turn. If I try, I'm going to stuff it into the tires. Just straightened it out. And
looks like we have some contact with the wall there. There's some white paint on the side of those tires, front and rear. I wonder if he had a problem or an issue there, and that made an issue
here we
there,
go.
So.
Going back to a replay. Watch for it. See if you run. Yeah, right there. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Took the mirror right off and our camera.
We'll send in the bill.
That's right. Boy, that's salt in the wound, isn't it?
Sure is. Yeah. There's Jeff Courtney and his Kinda Tires. Wreckstuff.com Audi R8 coming over from Porsche last year, running a pull program this year with that Audi. Brand new team back up with Stasis, the team that gave him the championship-winning car and touring car. So glad to see Jeff Courtney coming back and doing great there.
By the way, still Aschenbach 3rd in GTS right now. Defending champ, 7-time champ Cunningham 4th, and Gleason in that came in sitting in the 5th spot.
Looks like Dane Moxlow back underway, but once again,
something's wrong.
We do, I think that hit the wall, but he did get it back underway, so hopefully we'll stay green here. But just want to thank everybody for listening at world-challengetv.com. My name is Jeff Leppard. Greg Creamer here with you. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back with you with the action here at the St. Petersburg Sports Car Challenge presented by Stop Tech Brakes.
Today's coverage of the Pirelli World Challenge is being brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source, by GoPro, be a hero, and by Pirelli. Power is nothing without control.
The streets of Monaco, home of the legendary Grand Prix circuit. The perfect place to bring the all-new Cadillac ATS to test the 2.0-liter turbo engine.
272 horsepower, the lightest in its class. The Cadillac ATS outmatches BMW. I cannot believe I've ended the day not scraping some red paint off on these barriers.
The all-new Cadillac ATS.
The Pirelli World Challenge, the most intense and unique sports car racing on the planet. Multiple classes running at the same time, but in a sprint format. Some of the world's top manufacturers and the world's best drivers, all beginning with standing starts. It is truly Sports Car Wars. For series and event ticket information, check out world-challenge.com. To watch replays of all the intense action, check out world-challengetv.com. And always check it out, Pirelli World Challenge on Facebook. At St. Pete, this battle continues for 2nd. It is glorious. Randy Popes, Ryan Dial in his mirrors, Safronis in his mirrors, Volvo, Porsche, Audi. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is a great battle here as they come on the inside now of Lawson Aschenbach. They've got up to the 3rd place in our GTS category now, and all 3 of them cleanly by there. Safronov, he's going to get held up a little bit, and gaps that car. You have to go single file through here.
Yeah, and he's still
looking.
But you know what? Safronov has shown that car is capable of closing up in a hurry.
And look at this with those GT leaders coming through now, holding up Lawson Aschenbach a little bit. That's going to allow Petey Cunningham and that Acura TSX from HPD and Real-Time Racing to catch up to Lawson Aschenbach now. And Petey says he needed that. He needed those Camaros and the rear-wheel drive cars to run those tires down and see if he can save some. It's Brian Kleeman slow in his Nissan 370Z there, the DXG Clutches car on the right side. We'll have to see if that car gets back underway, but definitely don't want a yellow now with this exciting battle going and for 2nd place in GT.
Yeah, he's crawling, though, but it looks like he's got mojo. Hopefully he can limp it around and get it clear of the track somewhere. We'll watch for that. There's Alex Figge just turning into turn 1. That's the margin he has. Officially right now, the margin is about, looks like 5 seconds thereabouts. So he continues to control things at the front, doing a beautiful job of driving right now. This is the compelling battle on the track, although that battle between Lee and Baldwin shaping up in GTS as well. And that's where the leaders, this group fighting for 2nd, are. Randy Pope sees Baldwin in front of him, right in front of him, your GTS leader. This is Andy Lee right there in that Best IT Camaro, that yellow and black Camaro. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. And you know what? These guys, Randy is going, this is class leaders here. I want to get by them, but I don't want to mess this up either. So he waits. Gets one. Obviously, that's going to hurt Jack a little bit. And now Jack's going to get swarmed. But you know that Randy, well, he couldn't quite get up and get around. So Jack really got balked in this exchange, didn't he?
Yeah, his only thing now is he's hoping that when they get around Andy Lee, they can hold him up a little bit or maybe gap him and hold Andy up because, got to get that momentum in the GTS cars where you have the pure grunt of the GT to get off the corner. You definitely want to get that, but it looks like we have the big, long front straightaway here. That's not going to be a happen. They're all 3 going to get right around Andy Lee. Definitely hurts Jack Baldwin.
Yeah, that's not a good thing for Jack. Now we'll have to see. He's got to do all that work again, and again Dial, gets that run, but just that top end of that Volvo with that turbo, able to just eke out enough. And Safronov, going side by side with the Boss 302 down to the inside. That was close. And look at Andy Lee trying to take advantage. I've got the gap to Baldwin. Now get some more GTS traffic between us. Maybe that'll work. Dial thinking about it to the inside. No, but so close. That's a corner. If you get up alongside just enough, you can make that move into 4.
Yeah, that's a scary corner as well, and to have cars side by side there looking on the nose is not something I would like to be in.
Oh, this is such good stuff we're watching right now. And again, all of this is they're working traffic. Figge has things covered up front, and he's doing a superb job at this point. Again, Safronov gets a little balk behind Taggart's Lotus, able to get through, and Dial finally down to the inside, and it was, again, Randy just got balked a little bit, and Dial, a driver of his caliber, thank you.
Yeah, you can't give 1 inch to Ryan Dial in that Privacy Star Interest Porsche. He will take advantage of it. He took full advantage of it. Now, here is the time. He's got to see if he can run down Alex Figge now. Get behind that wheel, get up on it, hit your braking marks, hit your acceleration points. Let's go battle for the lead now. Let's see how much Randy was holding him up as James Safronov now putting it to Randy Post.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Dial has left in the quiver. And let's look here. Andy Lee getting balked this time. And it looks like Baldwin again is going to be caught out in faster overtaking GT traffic and lose a little bit of touch. And Andy Lee doing a beautiful job. Look at that. That was Mike Skeen in the Hawk Performance vet swinging around the outside of some GT traffic. And look at Baldwin trying to come right back after him here. And that's inside. Boy, that changed up in a hurry, didn't it? Suddenly Baldwin going for the lead in GTS. Yeah. Does he do it inside here? No. He realized that could have been him and the wall, and he backed out of it a little bit. But now Baldwin has made that all up again, and this time the traffic helped him.
I'm pretty sure that there was some contact there between Andy Lee and Jack Baldwin because Jack Baldwin and Andy Lee were side by side, right door, driver door of Jack Baldwin, I'm pretty sure. But look at this as Johnny O'Connell trying to get through here. Mike Skeen all the way through there, and that's Andy Pilgrim actually getting by Jack Baldwin. I apologize about that to Andy. And Jim Taggart just in his little Lotus Exige there. I'm not sure the cars can see that little Lotus Exige.
And guess who's all over the back of Baldwin right now? A guy named Aschenbach.
Guy named Lawson Aschenbach.
He has just been there, and that traffic brought him right up here. And now, suddenly, Baldwin's got company in class, not just other overtaking machines. And PD lurking, always lurking.
And that's how quickly it can change here. Here's Jack Baldwin side by side for the lead, and now he has to protect second, third now from Lawson Aschenbach. It goes that quick.
Yeah, compelling stuff. And again, there's Baldwin in that green and gray. Beautiful Moat Tool Cayman S, just doing everything he can to stay with Andy Lee and keep Aschenbach behind him. That is Lou Gelati, I think, that they're making the pass on. So he's through. Aschenbach is very close. This is semi-familiar territory for Aschenbach as he runs in another series in Grand Am. He runs a Camaro, runs with Eric Kern in that category. Different prep level of cars, but still familiar with this Camaro. So, and he's just a world-class driver, so there's no doubt he was going to pick this up in a big hurry. And we go back now. There is Alex Figge in that beautiful number 9. And the story is, where is Dial? Is he closing in? Doesn't look like he's made much in terms of an inroad right now. And you look at last laps, Figge a 1:19.0, Dial a 1:19.2. So, in fact, Figge stretching it just a little bit. The margin now 6 seconds.
Yeah, 6 seconds there, then 6.8 seconds back to Popes. So definitely getting this pulling away here. Boy, Alex Figge on a rail in that K-Pax Racing Volvo S60R. Great run from him as James Safranis is still back there lurking against Randy Popes and trying to get up to that 4th place.
You know, we've seen that with Alex. He's a very talented driver, but when everything kind of clicks, he's untouchable. And when from qualifying, you know, he just threw a lap down. That was unbelievable what he was able to lay down in qualifying, and he is now carrying it right through to this race. Getting a run here. That's Safronis now looking at Popes. Oh, he went back, then looked again. Boy, I'll tell you, he thinks maybe I can get this done here. It's going to be pretty fascinating to watch. But that little hunt cost him 2 car lengths by the time they got out of that very fast turn 10. Now he's already made it up by the time they get into 13.
Yeah, got a pass-through penalty here for Jeff Courtney and the number 99 Kenda Tire RecStuff.com. Audi R8, unfortunately, for driver contact back there in turn number 9, so we'll have to watch him do that drive through there. Tough break for Jeff Courtney.
That is indeed. By the way, this is the 50-minute based on laps. We try and do it via laps. They're projecting 34 laps, and we've completed 22, working 23. So a third, really, of this race yet to go, and that's a good thing because this one is phenomenal. And again, Safronis looking at Popes for third, and I think James sincerely thinks I'm quicker. If I can get through, maybe I can take another run at Dial. And Popes, of course, looking for points, doing everything he can to keep Safronis in that beautiful Global Motorsports Group Audi R8 LMS behind. 3 abreast cars everywhere working through turn 1. Multi-class racing. That's that beautiful Black Swan Mercedes-Benz that Tim Pappas has brought to this championship. I think one of the prettiest cars on the track, to be sure, and it's got great pace. And look at that. Once they got clear of everything, Baldwin right back. Man, look at that big. Oh, I see a little smoke, it looked like, from the back of Andy Lee. It might be tire smoke from lighting him up, but he was smoking.
Yeah, it's smoking a little bit there, and actually enough that course workers are starting to call that in now and looking for fluid on the ground, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Jack Baldwin, though, look at that when they're actually open, no traffic around, no GT cars, no other GTS cars, able to close in on Andy Lee. So even if the problem that's not sure if that's affecting Andy's car or not, it doesn't quite look like it, but Jack Baldwin's definitely running him down.
Boy, Andy, that thing's swinging around. That's some serious smoke. Yeah. And you wonder if that's maybe now not getting on those rear tires because he was sideways quite a bit. And so Baldwin sensing opportunity here, as is that beautiful black Camaro behind him from the Black Dog Speed Shop. And that is Aschenbach. And, going real slow. I think that is
Jeff Courtney now, the number 99 Audi R8.
Yeah, he might be having some sort of an issue. And he's trying to stay out of everybody's way and trying to get that car down into pit lane. That's a tough break. This is, he's run Jeff Courtney Racing with race support from other teams in the past. This year they're doing it on their own with that great support from Kenda Tire and RecStuff. And it's always a tough break to see somebody struggling like that. And Andy Lee definitely has his hands full of best IT Camaro right now with that smoke. Any idea, any speculation as to what
we're
it would
hearing
be?
It's a really bad burnt oil smell, so I'm thinking differential or transmission, unfortunately, right now for Andy Lee. And he's not only hanging on to the car for Jack Baldwin, it looks like the car might be giving up on him as well.
10 laps to go. 10 laps to go. Incredible. And Baldwin, you know, he's trying. And our Nissan again struggling.
Yeah, there you go. Rick Boucher and his Nissan SPL Motul 370Z pulling off there. And that might be a safe position for him there. I'm not sure. That is a low speed there on the inside. So good heads up there by Rick Boucher. Unfortunately, still problems in that 370.
Meanwhile, Baldwin doing everything he can, trying to get down and through. Cannot quite get by. He wants by. And the thing is the crews right now might be radioing, Jack. You know, there's a car stopped on course. We may get a caution. Get him. Get around him before a caution comes out if you can. And Baldwin just up in the ante a little bit right now. There's Lawson Aschenbach. There's P.D. Cunningham. That is your top four. And in GTS right now, we're getting.
We are going to go with pace car now, so we are going to do a full course yellow here.
Hopefully this will be a quick, extraction and get them back to racing.
Yeah, no damage, no contact there. We've got to get that car towed off, so looks like safety car and pace car's going out right now. We are going to be full course yellow, unfortunately, as we kind of cool everything off here and get calmed down and watch that battle take place here in the GTS category between Andy Lee and Jack Baldwin. And now this is going to change everything now with Alex Figge. Had a 5-second lead over Ryan Dial in that Porsche now. That's been evaporated.
You bet. And Safronis was 6 seconds behind Dial. That's gone too. And Safronis has looked awfully quick. And this is going to be fun to see how this one plays out right now. There is the stranded Nissan. Beautiful car. And just having a little bit of an issue here today.
Yeah, I feel for Rick Boucher. What a great guy. Got a great program going on with Nissan now. Got a new motor in at Sonoma last year. Finished 6th in the GTS class. High hopes this year. Unfortunately, problems. And like I said, doesn't look like there's any damage there, so we're still hoping he'll be back here tomorrow.
Absolutely. If it's just a simple mechanical thing that they can fix, that's a great thing. We'd love to have him back out here. So we are looking at the possibility of this pace car period being a relatively short one. And so we're going to step away. The pace car will be coming out, and we will be coming back here to our coverage here live on the web of the Pirelli World Challenge opening round for GT and GTS in the streets of St. Petersburg, the St. Petersburg Sports Car Challenge presented by StopTech. We'll be right back. Today's coverage of the Pirelli World Challenge is being brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source, by GoPro, be a hero, and by Pirelli. Power is nothing without control.
The streets of Monaco, home of the legendary Grand Prix circuit. The perfect place to bring the all-new Cadillac ATS to test the 2.0-liter turbo engine.
272 horsepower, the lightest in its class. The Cadillac ATS outmatches BMW. I cannot believe I've ended the day not scraping some red paint off on these barriers.
The all-new Cadillac ATS.
The Pirelli World Challenge, the most intense and unique sports car racing on the planet. Multiple classes running at the same time, but in a sprint format. Some of the world's top manufacturers and the world's best drivers, all beginning with standing starts. It is truly Sports Car Wars. For series and event ticket information, check out world-challenge.com. To watch replays of all the intense action, check out world-challengetv.com. And always check it out, Pirelli World Challenge on Facebook.
We're back. Pace car continues now to circulate. That is your leader, Figge, but look where Dial and Safronis are right behind him. And again, different driveline layouts, different packages. Who's got what for these final laps? Well, we're about to find out as soon as we can get back to green, and we anticipate that being relatively quick. By the way, while we have a moment, folks, we want to say a huge thank you to the people at Optima Batteries. They have a place here called the Optima Battery Fan Zone, and it held the autograph session that we had at 1 o'clock today. A huge crowd came out for it. It was absolutely wonderful. Well, the folks at Optima Batteries also have offered us the inside, the conference room there. for our set, if you will, for our 15-minute pre-race show that we've added to our live stream coverage this year. Big step up by the series to give us that opportunity, and Optima Batteries gave us the perfect place, and they're such wonderful hosts as well as great partners, so we wanted to tell them a very big thanks.
Yeah, that was really great over there, and we did the autograph session there. It was just absolutely great for what Optima Battery does for this series. Well, it's that time, folks. That's right. For you that are listening at WorldChallengeTV.com, it's time to give away a car. That's right. We're going to give away a car in the live stream. We got 28 of them, so we're going to give away one to every single race we got going on this year. Here's your question. You need to tweet it at WC Racing and use the hashtag PirelliWC to be legit and valid. But that question is, what car battery is used in every race car that competes in the Pirelli World Challenge Series? Do your answer on Twitter at WC Racing, hashtag PirelliWC for it to be valid for your chance to win a car that is the Facebook Cartown game. If you have not played Cartown, you have your chance to win one of our Cartown cars that are featured on the Cartown game. By the way, I'm level 38 on that in Facebook. Love that game through Cartown. Here's your chance to win.
Maestro,
bow to me. Bow to me. That's right. And by the way,
worthy.
I said it all last year. I had to pay for my cars. I don't get any free World Challenge cars. I got to pay for mine. But your chance to win one now. Once again, tweet at WC Racing, hashtag PirelliWC. What car battery is used by every race car that competes in the Pirelli World Challenge Series?
And folks, if you got your hand on your chin right now going, I can say but one thing. Take a hint.
It's the time. Timing, yeah. Timing is everything.
Exactly.
I like that. Starts with an O, ends in a Tomas.
So right now we are under control, but we're lights are out on the pace car. So that was no, I guess it wasn't. I saw the back of it. We're listening to race control.
So we still have the tow truck on track here in turn number 9. So trying to get that car removed of Rick Boucher. It is just a flat tow, so we'll be able to get that pulled in, and as soon as we get him clear, we'll be back under racing.
And what we're doing right now, folks, we're doing the wave by. So all of the lap cars, all the GTS cars are going to go around and come around. So when we go back to racing, we are going to have all of our GT cars are going to be going at it, the GTS cars at the back. This is going to be just an absolute shootout here to the finish. And hopefully this happens quick, because obviously as soon as they can get that vehicle moved, we can go back to green and finish this one out with an absolute brawl, I think. And that's what we're here for. Battle of the Brands. Why not brawl it up?
And just remember, we do this all over again tomorrow at 10:25 Eastern, live at world-challengetv.com. We'll be live for race number 2 here of the St. Petersburg Sports Car Challenge presented by StopTech. Please join us once again tomorrow at 10:25. We're going to give another car away, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just want to let you know that. But
well, you know what? That's one of the things that we haven't really mentioned, but that these guys have on their minds. The people that know they're going for the championship. There's some tremendously talented drivers here, but they're smart, too. It's not just raw speed. And this is where they're going. It's time to judge risks as well. Do I make that move for the lead, for those extra few points, but risk walling it, risk contact, risk something? Or if I have to, do I say, it's not worth it. I don't want to have the crew rebuilding a car overnight, maybe missing a race. Because as you pointed out, we finish at, 6 o'clock tonight. I think that race is early tomorrow morning by all standards. And so there's a lot right now that these guys need to juggle. And, yeah, race wins are important, but championships are more important. And so, some of these guys that are in it for the year, in it to win it in terms of the championship, are going to be, right now, calculations are going on in terms of risk versus reward.
Yeah, and all these teams down pit lane are watching that race monitor app, watching to see where they're at, because, of course, the grid tomorrow is set up by fastest race times today. So you may be 3rd or 4th, but you could have the fastest race lap right now. So, hey, don't take that risk. Save the car. We're on pole tomorrow. Just take it easy.
Well, and that's a good point, because there are points that will be paid. So right now you're behind by a couple of points in your position, but you got that fast lap. You're going to get the bonus points for your qualifying effort as well. So there's lots going on. Believe me, the engineers that are sitting behind the wall, for Alex Figge and Randy Popes, Will Moody, one of the best in the business, and he's going to be sitting there crunching all these numbers and going, okay, here's where we sit. If you can do it, sure. If you can't, here's the plan. Sure. Of course, the green flag flies and plans tend to evaporate. But it looks like Mr. Boucher has made his way off track via the tow vehicle. And I think if this wave around has gone well, We are getting word next time by, we will complete lap 30. So if we're still within that window for 50 minutes, at least 3 laps, maybe 4, to take us to the checkers. This one should be interesting.
Yeah, just watching the cars come down the front straights there, and I did notice that James Sofronis now got around Randy Popes. Not sure when that happened, but James Sofronis now into 3rd place ahead of Popes as he sets his sights now for Ryan Dial and Alex Figge here on the restart. So it is Volvo number 1, Porsche 2, and Audi 3rd. So top 3 different makes, 3 different layouts, 3 different drivetrains. Absolutely amazing with the parity in the series.
Yeah, and then you go back, look at the top 6. You've got 5 different manufacturers and types of car in that top 6. The only 2 that repeat are those Volvos. So you got the Cadillac and you got the Corvette right in the mix as well. Oh, yeah.
And those are cars as well that rear-wheel drive, big monster tires, get those Pirelli P0s cooled off. Let's make a run. Boy, it's going to be exciting. We got a little bit of 5 laps left, I think.
Yeah, at most, maybe. Once we complete this, it'll be, I think, maybe 4 to go. And then in GTS, Lee, Baldwin, Aschenbach, Cunningham, they were, obviously after this caution, they're going to be covered by the proverbial blanket. And all those guys, cool tires, everything cooled off a little bit, but hot and ready to go after it here. Whew, both classes, this is going to be phenomenal.
During pre-race, we talked to Jack Baldwin, fast 5 laps. We got 4 laps left at the green flag. Boy, Jack Baldwin knows how to do this a lot.
Oh, yeah. That's one thing. Drivers at this level, they can just spool it up. And that is about what we are going to see. Pace car into the pits. Watch for it. Figge gets to choose his pace. He brings him up. Everybody packing up a little bit. Oh, that is one of the Mercedes moving out of the way. Now back in line, and there's the green. You can see the poof out of the Volvo's pipes. Dial can't even see him. Dial going to look to the inside, but he's got Sofronis on the outside. Figge defends. He holds up, but he runs right. Dial going to come up underneath. Does he get him? He does. Dial around. Figge into 2nd. Sofronis slots into 3rd. And Figge just a little bit too hot. He shallowed that entry in to defend. Carried a bit too much speed.
And here comes Sofronis now defending against Randy Post, but also looking to make that move on Alex Figge. It is Ryan Dial now as Mike Skeen on the outside there. Not going to stick there. Watch out for that wall as both Cadillacs get around him. Contact there on the right side of Andy Pilgrim's Cadillac CTS-V.
Yeah, it looked like Skeen almost was going to get the tires, and then as he got that saved, there was Andy Pilgrim, and they tinked a little bit. But Dial, boy, I'll tell you what, that was a great piece of driving. He harried Figge so much. Figge made that little mistake, and Dial through. Sofronis, look at this. O'Connell now coming into the inside of Popes, and he's got him. And Pilgrim goes right with him, and right there, Randy said, you know what, there's no way I could get through, and now he's under attack from Skeen. At least he's got the inside, but Skeen around the outside through that incredibly tricky 11-12 chicane complex, makes it stick, he floats wide, and Popes counterpunch, move down to the inside, and he's back through. That's what you call thrust and parry, huh?
Boy, look at those all-wheel drive tires. Hook up those Pirelli P0s off to the main straightaway and got the run out of the corner down the straightaway. Repass, but what a move by Mike Skeen there through that chicane. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that's phenomenal stuff. You can't find it much better than that. And so Dial, Figge, Sofronis, O'Connell, and Pilgrim, your top 5. Popes hanging on over Skeen. And it's still Lee, Baldwin, and Aschenbach. Ooh, and somebody a big spin. That's Lawson Aschenbach. And damage to that right rear corner.
Yeah, we'll have to look at the replay of that because they were in a heated battle there for 3rd. Not going to see if there was any contact there. Of course, right behind him was Petey Cunningham and Kevin Gleason in the Porsche Cayman. So we're hoping for a replay, but now it looks like he's dropped all the way back now down to 6 behind Wilkins there in that Kia.
Yeah, Dial too deep on the brakes. Big wiggle. Figge gets his opportunity. Not quite close enough. So we'll have to see now, but with Alex this close, you were talking about how that all-wheel drive hooks these cars up. Look at him diamond it. Way out now. Squeeze the throttle. Put that turbo to work. Straight line out and see if he can get a run on Dial. And we know that Porsche can get deep on the brakes. He's got to get by him and get way down the inside. There goes Dial to defend. Just what he did. Figge coming to the inside, but Dial, notice that he opened it up a little bit, gave himself a little bit better line in, and hangs on.
Wow, Alex Figge had all 4 of those Pirelli P0 tires squealing down into turn 1, trying to put the move on Ron Dial. Great job, driving job there from Dial to hold him off.
Absolutely, and look who's just lurking. There's Sofronis for the lead in GTS side by side. Lee
He's got that Camaro, and Baldwin is through. Baldwin uses the lap car as a pick. Lee goes to the throttle, completely locking or spooling up those rear tires, getting him sideways. Couldn't get the drive of it, and P.D. Cunningham, now with Aschenbach out of the way, P.D.'s looking for it, but he's got Gleason right there.
Yeah, he's trying to get around Andy Lee, but Kevin Gleason trying to make the move as well as we go back to our leader, Ryan Dial, in that Interest Privacy Star Porsche 911, pulling out over Alex Figge a little bit now, and James Safronis, man, he's been lurking all weekend. We haven't really, wasn't either one of our picks, but there he is in third place.
Yeah, doing a superb job. I'll tell you what, it's Aschenbach out of the picture. Gleason says I'm there. This battle in GTS is just superb. Baldwin, Cunningham, and 1 lap to go. Starting our last lap, Ryan Dial hanging on in that beautiful Privacy Star N-Trust Porsche over the K-Pax Volvo of Figge and the Global Motorsports Group Mobil 1 Audi R8 LMS of James Safronis, and they've opened up a little bit of a gap, about 3 seconds now over O'Connell and Pilgrim at this stage. So it's down to these 3. And we're going to see what happens on this last lap. Dial looks like after that little bobble, he's now got the measure. But look at Safronis hunting on Figge. He is pushing mercilessly right now, trying to figure out a way through. It is close. And Baldwin over Lee and Cunningham. Sorry, bud.
That's just what Alex Figge needs. Or that's just what Ryan Dial needs. He needs Figge to start holding up James Safronis a little bit, concentrate on that. And boy, look at the lead he's pulled out in that Porsche.
Yeah. Dial looking in his mirrors, big grin, going, yeah, James, do it, do it. Again, Safronis down into that turn 10, just likes to take a look, thinks that he maybe could do it, then realizes, no, that's that risk factor. So James tucks back in, loses a little bit on the exit as a result, so it may not be enough. We'll see. Here we go. It's all down to launch off of this final turn. All-wheel drive tends to give it. Checkered flag is out. Ryan Dial bringing True Speed, Privacy Star, and N-Trust back up top. Figge into second. Safronis, a superb race to third. And then we'll see how it susses out. O'Connell, Pilgrim, Popst, and Skeen rounding out your top 7, and Ryan Dial showing why he's got the pedigree he does. From World Endurance Championships in LMP2 to Le Mans wins in LMP2. Amazing stuff. Here we go. This is your GTS battle, and Baldwin back on the streets of St. Pete, bringing it home, a wiggle for the crew, and he does it.
Look at that brand new car off the showroom floor, built it up, Motul Stop Tech, Invoice Prep, Goldcrest Motorsports getting that car set up for him. Race winner now, Jack Baldwin in that Porsche Cayman.
Absolutely fantastic. Great to see him back on top of things here at St. Pete. And Andy Lee, again, with a wounded, it looked like, in some way, shape, or form. Best IT Chevy Camaro, almost hanging on for the win, ending up a very close second. Pretty impressive stuff. Jeff, I know you're heading out and going to go do some interviews for the NBC Sports TV coverage from pit lane. And, boy, do you have a lot to talk about.
Oh, we sure do. It's going to be fun. We'll see everyone in Victory Lane. Thank you so much. We'll see you next race at Long Beach, or tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow morning.
You bet. Round number 2. So let's do a quick rundown of where things sit at this point. In the GT category, it's Ryan Dial getting the win over Alex Figge with that great last few laps, and James Safronis so close and not getting up into the second spot, but a great run to the podium. Then Johnny O'Connell in the Cadillac and Andy Pilgrim in the Team Cadillac rounding out the top 5. Randy Popst in the Volvo in 6th. 7th is Mike Skeen in the Hawk Performance Corvette. Then in 8th spot, Alex Welch doing a nice job in the Global Motorsports Group Audi R8. Then it's Tommy Dreese in the internship movie LG Motorsports Corvette. And completing your top 10, it's Tim Pappas in the beautiful Black Swan Mercedes AMG SLS GT3. In the GTS category, it's Jack Baldwin with the win in that beautiful Invoice Prep Motul Stop Tech Porsche Cayman. Andy Lee in the Best IT Camaro. P.D. Cunningham in the HPD Acura in real-time Acura. Then it's Gleason in the Napleton Racing Porsche Cayman in 4th. 5th is Lawson Aschenbach, even with that spin and some contact. 6th, Mark Wilkins in the Kia Motors America, Kia Racing, and Kinetic Motorsports, Kia Optima. Then Udell next up. Then it is a nice run by Nick Janssen coming over racing GTS. Then it is Tony Gaples in the return of his team now into GTS, that beautiful machine. And then it is Nick Asayan in GTS. So that's how it all wrapped up here at St. Pete, round 1 of the Pirelli World Challenge Championships. And with that late yellow bunching the field up,
It was something spectacular to the end, and we have round 1 in the books, but we have round 2 tomorrow. There's a lot more to come here from St. Petersburg and the St. Petersburg Sports Car Challenge presented by StopTech. And, of course, we'll be bringing it to you tomorrow morning right here on the web. And so make sure you tune in. We'll have another pre-race show to bring you. It should be spectacular. Today's coverage of the Pirelli World Challenge is being brought to you by Optima Batteries, the ultimate power source, by GoPro, be a hero, and by Pirelli, power is nothing without control.
The streets of Monaco, home of the legendary Grand Prix circuit. The perfect place to bring the all-new Cadillac ATS to test the 2.0-liter turbo engine.
272 horsepower, the lightest in its class. The Cadillac ATS outmatches BMW. I cannot believe I've ended the day not scraping some red paint off on these barriers.
The all-new Cadillac ATS.
The Pirelli World Challenge, the most intense and unique sports car racing on the planet. Multiple classes running at the same time, but in a sprint format. Some of the world's top manufacturers and the world's best drivers, all beginning with standing starts. It is truly sports car wars. For series and event ticket information, check out world-challenge.com. To watch replays of all the intense action, check out world-challengetv.com. And always check it out, Pirelli World Challenge on Facebook. Revs coming up, we're green!
Big move coming off the 3.
2, 3, 4 abreast in some spots.
Side-by-side action.
He absolutely nailed it.
Three-way battle.
And we've got an incident. You would expect nothing less.
Oh, clips the inside apex.
Very racy. This is going to get interesting.
That is a brave move. What a pass. This is what World Challenge is all about.
Slide